If you are a service-based business owner and you've been running Google Ads, I'm sure you are wondering what the best bid strategy is for your Google Ads campaign. In this video, I'm going to uncover all the different types of bid strategies that you can leverage within Google Ads, and I'm going to share at the very end which one is my favorite in order to generate the best possible results for my local lead generation marketing campaigns. If you're new here, my name is Michelle Kopp. I'm the founder of Level 28 Media, and I help local businesses generate leads from Google Ads. So if you provide professional services and you are looking to have your campaigns audited, or just have someone go ahead and manage the Google Ads campaigns for you to generate the leads coming in on a consistent basis, feel free to check out the link below and get in contact with me, and we can have a discussion to see if it's a good fit. So let's go ahead and dive into all the different bid strategies, and I'll take you through that in 1 second. But before then, I just wanted to just reiterate and just recap exactly how Google Ads works. So when someone does a search on Google, they're going to be triggering an ad auction. So when an auction takes place, it's literally just like seconds. It does not take that long. It's not like the typical auction that you see on TV or in the media. It's literally an auction that takes place within seconds. Now, the way to win the auction is, of course, you need to be bidding a competitive bid. You have to have, relevancy. There's a lot of things that go into that, but a big portion is how you bid. Now, how you bid is going to be dependent on the bid strategy that you choose. There's a couple bid strategies that you can use, or actually there's a lot of different types, but just breaking it down, there's automated bid strategies, smart bidding, there's more manual bid strategies, and then there's bid strategies that are focused on visibility. So we could talk about that in a little bit more detail, but let's go ahead and just uncover, if you are a professional service-based business, what is your ultimate goal? And I can say this with a blanket statement because most of the clients that I work with, they are looking for more phone calls or form submissions on their website. That's it. The goal is to get a contact information to call a user back or get the user on the phone and try to convert them that way. So if that's the case and that's you, please listen up, because this is going to be the perfect video that's going to show you exactly the right strategy to leverage, especially if you are a small business and you don't have a massive budget. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk about the different types of smart bidding that you can use. There's 5 smart bidding strategies, and just to take a little step back here, smart bidding is leveraging Google's signals behind the scenes, their AI, to optimize for conversions or those phone calls and form submissions in every auction. So it's auction time bidding, and it factors in a bunch of different signals such as devices, location, time of day, language, operating system, and so forth, in order to determine the right bid to get you to your specific goal. So there are 5 different bid strategies that you can leverage, starting with target cost per acquisition or target cost per action. If you want to optimize for conversions, you can use this target cost per acquisition, or I call it target CPA, to help increase the number of conversions while targeting a specific cost per action. So you can tell Google, hey Google, do not spend more than $100 for a cost per lead, because I don't want to be spending more than that. So Google's going to try to go out when it's time to for the auction, and it's going to try to help determine whether or not or what type of bid to put in place in order for you to even appear, and it's going to also do that while taking into consideration your cost per acquisition goals. Because for some providers, they may see that if they exceed a certain cost per action or cost per acquisition or cost per lead, it starts to become less profitable for them. So keep that in mind as you are setting things up. So that's one of the bid strategies. Another bid strategy here is called target return on ad spend, or target ROAS. So if you want to optimize For conversion value, you can certainly use target ROAS to help increase conversion value while targeting a specific return on ad spend. This type of bid strategy is good when you're feeding data back into Google. If you're not feeding data back into Google, it's going to be really hard for Google to know how to optimize. So if you're not passing any offline data back into Google based off of who's converted and some other various factors, it's going to be really hard for Google to optimize towards return on ad spend. Now let's talk about a couple other ones. Maximize conversions. This is if you just want Google to maximize the number of conversions coming from your ads. You just want your entire budget spent and Google to get you as many conversions as possible within your budget. The next one is called maximize conversion value. Oops, moved it here. So if you want to optimize for a conversion value, this is also similar to return on ad spend, but you're basically feeding data back into Google to then get Google to maximize your conversion value. So typically this is more of a better fit for like shopping or a type of campaign where you feed the conversion value back in. If you do have offline data, you can feed it right back into Google and then it will optimize based off of that. But that's something that you can consider because it's taking information from offline that actually worked and it's going to optimize based off of that. And then finally, some people don't realize that enhanced CPC or eCPC is a smart bidding strategy. So essentially, this bid strategy works where you can set the bids manually, but then it can increase the specific bid by 30% or adjust it by lowering it. I think it was by 30% too. It's not typically my favorite bid strategy to use, but it's something and it allows you to have more control versus the other smart bidding strategies. So that's what we have for smart bidding. Now let's talk about CPC bidding. So these are a little bit more manual. Well, manual is manual. Maximize clicks is also an automated bid strategy, but it's not necessarily considered a smart bidding strategy because it's not leveraging the other, AI-based signals that Google uses for these other top smart bidding strategies. So, maximize clicks is an automated bid strategy, and the simplest way to explain it is if you just want the most number of clicks from your ads, this is the one to go with. All you have to do is set an average daily budget and the Google system will automatically manage your bids to bring you the most clicks possible within that given budget. So that's if you're trying to get as many clicks as possible from your ads. Now then, manual CPC bidding is literally setting a bid on every single one of your keywords and you have control over the different bids on the specific individual keywords or placements if we're talking about display, but let's just talk about keywords because this is for local lead generation. If you found specific keywords to be more profitable than others, you can bid up on that, or if you found them to not be as profitable, you can pause or bid down. But this is literally micromanaging each keyword. This used to be the way to go about doing things many years ago. I still believe that there's a time and place for it, but it used to be a very popular option amongst pay-per-click marketers. I still think it is, but we can talk about that a little bit more in a bit. But these are the different bid strategies. So this is smart bidding. This is bidding based off of clicks. And then if you want to focus on visibility, there's target impression share, target CPM. I'm not going to focus on this because this is more for awareness-based campaigns. And when we're talking about lead generation is not necessarily awareness-based. Those are two different things. So I'm going to stay away from that. I do not recommend any of these bid strategies, but for lead generation, so I'm not even going to touch that. So now I'm going to reveal my favorite way to go about using bid strategies when it comes to campaigns. And when I'm launching a campaign for a small business, what I'll do is, especially if we're trying to get phone calls and form submissions, and it's a brand new campaign, I actually like to go with either one of these, maximize clicks or manual CPC to start, because smart bidding, which is what we have up here, is not going to have any data to go off of. If you don't have anything to go off of, then smart bidding is just going to go crazy. Smart bidding is not going to know what to optimize towards. So what we need to do is feed data into Google, let Google start collecting data, because it's not smart yet. It needs to learn. So by leveraging either one of these, I like to just go manual in the beginning. But if you want a little bit more of an automated approach and you don't necessarily want to be babysitting it, I completely understand if you want to do maximize clicks. But I like to have control over things, so I typically go manual. And then for maximize clicks, if you want to go this route and you want a more automated bid strategy, please, please, please set a bid limit. So I'll talk about the bid limit in a minute, but essentially you want to let Google start collecting enough information, start collecting conversions, and then from there, once it's collected at least 15 to 20 conversions in the last 30 days, the more conversions, the better, of course, but I like to say at least 15 conversions. Then you will want to switch to one of these smart bidding strategies, because you want Google to learn, and then based off of that, you can switch, because based off of this, Google will have more information to know how to optimize for conversions using its AI. So with maximize clicks, you can set a bid limit saying, Google, do not spend more than $30 a click. But note that if you do put a bid limit, you are going to be limiting yourself in terms of being able to appear. So make sure that your bid limit is not too aggressive, and you want to let the campaigns breathe. So that's what I would say in terms of the approach. Once you've had at least 15 to 20 conversions in the last 30 days, I would switch over to one of the smart bidding strategies. Typically, it would be a maximize conversions with a target cost per acquisition. So it's actually a combination of this one and this one, which is an option in there. And essentially, it would then try to maximize your conversions given the constraint of a target cost per acquisition goal. Because if I don't have any offline data to go off of, because I'm working with a lot of small businesses, they're not necessarily tracking in a specific way for me to re-upload data. Not all of them do, at least. This is going to be the best option. So maximize conversions with a target cost per acquisition. If you just move over to target maximize conversions and you do not set a target cost per acquisition, your bids can go crazy. I've seen bids as high as $100, $200, and more sometimes when there's no target CPA. So you do need to put a constraint, but you don't want to constrain it so much that it starts choking and it's not going to be able to produce for you. So keep that in mind as you're setting things up. That's the approach that I like to do. But if you do have offline data, or you're running shopping, which most of you aren't, if you're watching this video, you're looking for lead gen and you're service-based, target return on ad spend, maximize conversion value is going to be the way to go if you're doing shopping, or you're collecting the data offline and you're feeding it back online. So that's my approach that I would use for any small business. Now, if you do not actually get anywhere between 15 to 20 conversions per month in terms of volume, because there are some clients that just don't get that, then you would just actually want to stick with either one of these. Perfectly fine to either stick with maximize clicks or manual, and optimize based off of that. So what I'll say is, choosing the wrong bid strategy, I mean, there's no real super wrong way to go about doing this. It's really just a matter of testing. But based off of my experience and what I know running in this space, this is what I've been accustomed to and what I've seen generate the best results. So if you have any questions about smart bidding, bid strategies, or anything regarding this topic, feel free to drop it in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them about this topic. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to this channel. I post videos about Google Ads every week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.